There's one, set for stun. Ugh!
He said stun! It wasn't gonna hurt ya! He said stun!
Don't worry, that clip will make plenty of sense by the end of the video. While Star Citizen doesn't seem to make much progress year over year, and progress has admittedly slowed down a bit due to the focus on Squadron 42, the truth of the matter is that hundreds of small drops we see eventually lead to an ocean. Or maybe a puddle. My point being, with so many things constantly changing, it's easy to lose track of what exactly is changing. Last year, I started a series of retrospective videos to focus on what progress was being made year over year, and what progress wasn't. These videos quickly became overwhelming to tackle every week, and I took a break. Today, I'd like to return to this series with a different approach. This new take will be unscheduled and focus on the past, present, and future of topics that I see being updated in the near future. Today, we are going to take a look at Weapon System 2.0. Thank you for coming to this Tomato Talk. Years ago, in the pre-3.0 days, we heard rumors of a system that would help to make items throughout the game reactive to each other and connected to a unified database. This system was Item 2.0. It was a system that would allow various effects to be applied to things such as armor, power plants, shields, ship weapons, FPS weapons, character models, and everything else you could call an item. It would lead to improvements of the heat system and ship components. It was one of those big tech hurdles that we hear about every so often in Star Citizen. And it was important. CryEngine originally stored a lot of aspects of the game in XML, limiting the functionality of items. This was the process of overhauling the system into something more systemic. This transition started more than 3 years ago, and it's still happening to this day. Included in this system is Weapon 2.0, which allowed systems designers to work separately from coders to make new weapon effects and functionality in a much faster and more streamlined way. No longer was each weapon meant to be bespoke. Weapon 2.0 was the systematic method by which weapons could be edited. This is all part of the development of the game engine that has been taking place throughout the years. Here is a systems designer Johnny Jasivius with a bit more on the topic in Calling All Devs a couple of years ago.
Weapon 2.0, which is, it always was planned to have a charged burst on the weapon. So that was something we could never do previously. But now we can use a charged fire mode with a burst inside it, and we can do what we need to with the charge to make the burst better. So that's just an example of kind of how robust the system is, in that we can do all of these strange things without needing code support anymore. We were really hampered by what we could do with our existing system, so we were very limited to like, just is it rapid fire, is it burst fire, is it single shot? And if we wanted to do something special, we would have to get a coder involved and jump in and kind of do a bunch of work for us. Whereas now, as we kind of go further down the line and we might start investigating some damage types and things that start to get a little bit more weird, we might want to have a lot more interesting behaviors on there. And one of the very big things for FPS is the attachment system.
Right.
We really want to start pushing on that, and I'm not saying it's going to be coming anytime soon, but we've allowed for all of the stats on the weapons to be modifiable. So we can start to think about adding things like silencers, compensators, different scopes, and all this kind of thing that you can kind of change in and out in your PMA, and you'll be able to see your weapon stats change and feel an effect on the weapon overall. So
Clearly, we see alternate fire modes and weapon attachments in-game now, but in 3.10, we'll also see a new weapon that takes the progress of Weapon 2.0 one step further. Different weapon damage types are a pretty important part of FPS and RPG play, and while we see ballistic damage and energy damage in various weapons, we have no method for non-lethal takedown, an important part of Bounty Hunter play, especially considering the addition of body dragging in 3.10. The Lightning Bolt Company is releasing 2 new weapons into the persistent universe in the next patch, and while they don't provide non-lethal damage yet, they do set the stage for it. These weapons will introduce a new damage type for the game, Electron damage. This damage type consists of energy, distortion, and the new stun damage type. It has an effect on characters that we haven't seen before, and I believe it will eventually be brought over to ship systems as well. This could possibly lead to the ability to disable comms and sound recreation by shorting your ship and HUD systems, maybe giving weapons the ability to have an EMP effect. Only time will tell. It's nice to see new weapon systems making it into the game along with other gameplay systems. With Electron damage, I'm almost sure that we will see things like stun guns or stun grenades coming out within the next year or so. See, I told you would get that opening reference. With Weapons 2.0 continuing to progress, what's a new damage type you're excited to eventually see in-game? Drop a comment below and join the discussion, or hop on my Discord and discuss these new weapons with my community. As always, I'd like to thank you for sticking to the tomato for your Star Citizen content, and I hope to see you at the next video.